welcome into the MinerTalk podcast. I'm Adrian Broadus. Joined with me is one of the presenting sponsors here on MinerTalk, Oscar Arrieta from the Oscar Arrieta Agency. You can see him at all 7 locations, and the reason why we're doing this today is a very special reason. We're actually doing this because we're celebrating 25 years of serving El Paso from the west side to Fabens, the Oscar Arrieta Agency. You hear him all the time on MinerTalk. Oscar, thank you so much for doing this. Congratulations on 25 years. That's pretty special.
Hey, thank you, Adrian. Thank you for inviting me to be on this talk show. I love 600 AM. Actually, I was thinking that I grew up listening to 600 AM because of my dad. And I'm always listening to it. I love to hear your great host, and thank you. I'm very humbled and honored to be part of this today.
So take me all the way back to 1997, because opening up an agency for the first time and doing something like this must be a very interesting journey. What kind of growing pains kind of started off when you first got this agency going?
Wow, that's a loaded question. There's a lot of growing pains that we went through in my 25 years. But I'll share something with you. Within these 25 years, I wanted to go bankrupt twice. You know that gut feeling when you ran out of money, you got nothing, you don't know what's going to come the following day, you don't know if you're going to be able to pay the electric bill, you're crossing your fingers, please don't cut off the electric bill, we need the light, payroll, we don't know if you're going to meet the payroll. And what I've learned is it's so important to have the right people around you. You gotta have the right people around you. And both instances, I had the right people to tell me, hey, Oscar, we're here, we're gonna pull, don't, let's go, we can do this. And to this day, I'm very thankful for those employees that were there with me, thinking that they believed in me, because I had stopped believing in myself that we could do it, and we thought everything was over. And 25 years I'm sitting here because of people that surround me that were instrumental in not giving up and believing in me.
If you took who you are today and you went all the way back to 1997 and you said, hey, guess what? You're going to have 7 locations in this city. It's not just going to be this one location in Fabens where you made your name and you made your staple and started things off. It's going to be all across the city of El Paso. What do you think you would have said back in 97?
You're crazy. You're crazy. We're thought to dream big. And yes, when I opened, I was dreaming big. But I was dreaming big based on what I could even see it with my eyes, right? Open an agency and maybe grow it to a certain amount of policies, a certain amount of clients, and just be, in that moment, what I define success is like, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm making a living. I'm able to pay my mortgage, and I'm able to do this, and I got 1-2 employees, because usually most agents only had a couple of employees, and so I was following the exact path, and never thought that I was going to go multiple agencies. And going back to the people that you have, if you have the right people there, they're always going to push you, and if you have the heart and saying, hey, you want them to grow, well, they're going to push you to grow also. And I think that that has been very instrumental to us, that in these 25 years, as we've been expanding, there was an instance that in 2006, I opened 2 additional agencies. I bought an agency and started scratch. And around 2010, I'm thinking, I had 3 agencies. I'm like, I'll never, ever open up another agency. I'm okay with what I have. What happened is that in 2010, we started to see a growth, and we started to focus on building leaders within my agency. All of a sudden in 2011, I buy my 4th one. I'm saying, okay, we bought our 4th one. That's it. We can't do more. In 2018, we did our 5th one. And in 2020, while COVID was going, 2021, which was last year, we acquired 2 additional, and we have 7. And I've learned that I will never ever say no. I'm 7 is fine. I think that as you build leaders, you're able to continue to grow.
That makes a lot of sense. And you know what's so interesting is you're in El Paso, and you do this with the city of El Paso kind of behind you because, like you said, it's leaders who you employ here in this building and all your other 7 buildings. What's it like doing this, knowing that you're doing it here in El Paso, in the 915, just knowing how much city support we've gotten over the past recent years?
Oh, it's amazing. I think that El Paso, I love El Paso. You know, I love it with all my heart. I've been blessed to be traveled around the United States and gone to New York City, Dallas, big cities that you think that a lot of people say, oh, it's not El Paso. And I'm like, there's something about El Paso, and I will tell you with what it is. It's the people. There's no people like the El Paso people. That's what makes El Paso great. I just read a social media post on this week about this a comedian that was trashing El Paso. Like, I don't want to go to El Paso. Why do I need to go and stuff? You know, he's focusing on El Paso, but I would tell him, you haven't met the El Paso people. Because the El Paso people is what makes El Paso. El Paso doesn't make the people, it's the people. And we're super blessed to have these amazing people of the 915.
Yeah, it's such a special community. It's understandable why people like Aaron Jones puts the city on the map. It's understandable why an artist like Khalid always wants to give back to this city. And you do so much giving back to this community as well through Allstate and through your agency. You do a lot of things where you're out in the community involved, especially around the winter time. You guys do so much. Can you talk a little bit about how it's grown from the start of kind of getting back to the community and maybe why you feel like that's such a big thing for you all?
Well, I think that first and foremost, God has blessed me a lot. So, you know, I started from this small community that I grew up in Fabens. I'm from Fabens. I'm proud to say that I'm from Fabens. And when I first opened my business, I saw that Fabens was being underserved, and I wanted to build do the insurance. Building my insurance agency out there, but with high quality and give back. And so I started small with them, and from there it has just expanded. I've seen how God has blessed me, and you know, when you're blessed, you got to give back. So I believe in, you know, I guess you can say that I started from Fabens, but now we went into Horizon City, and then we went to El Paso, and now we're all across, and seeing that we got this blessing, and we're able to give back to the community, back to UTEP, back to the local schools. And I'm huge in the community, to giving back to the community, because I started from a local, and I think that when we instilled with my staff, when we say, hey, we're going to do this, they're all for it. Like, oh, let's go. You know, we're doing a project where we're going to go paint some houses, and I didn't initiate that. I had a manager from one of my office that says, hey, Oscar, wouldn't it be nice for us to do this? I said, set it up, and you have all my support, and let's do it. So that's what we're doing, and I'm glad when people feel the same way I feel.
Oh yes, I mean, giving back to the community is such a huge thing in this city. Now, let me ask you this, as a business owner and somebody who's been a part of this community for a long time, how have you seen this city grow? That's such a loaded question too, because you look at your West Side location, I'm 25 years, there was nothing in that area whatsoever, even out of the last decade. So now you see how far the West Side is expanding, your Horizon location, it's a whole new city out there, and your Eastlake location, this city's growing like crazy.
It is. I remember when we opened in Horizon, you know, it was a retirement community. You know, when I first opened in Fabens, you know, I had people laughing at me from the El Paso agents and said, hey, what are you going to do? Sell insurance to horses and stuff? You know, I've just seen, I think I've been blessed to see how this has grown, El Paso, how it is grown, and we've been part of it. Westside, when we first opened our Westside location in 2018, all that was pure desert. I was one of the first businesses that opened in that location, at the West Town location. Now you go out there, traffic is really, I mean, we love the traffic as a business, but if you're stuck in traffic, you hate it. But you know it's grown, and I think that's a testament of what we were talking about, that, you know, Paso, people are staying. They're very comfortable. It's a great community when you get to know the people. You know, why leave El Paso?
Yeah, there's no reason to. In my opinion, I love this city. Let's shift gears and talk a little bit about just being a business owner, and maybe some advice you can give, because we understand as a community there are local businesses, small business, bigger businesses out there. As somebody who's just sustained longevity in this city and been here for over 2 decades now, are there any tips or advice you give to business owners who are trying to get to that level, and maybe it's not necessarily to that level, but just to have success and to show what you could do in this city?
Yeah, I tend to do a lot of networking, to give advice, but also to receive advice. I said earlier that it's important for us for you to surround yourself with great people, with like-minded people, because it's important. As a business owner, you got to look for leadership, people that are going to inspire you. And my suggestion always to anybody that's building that wants to open a business or has a business or is going through a growing pain like I did, that, you know, you're thinking, you know, this is it, I'm not going to make it. One of the things I tell them is don't give up. Don't give up. You got to continue to the last day, to the last moment, to the last penny that you have. Because if you do end up closing, because there's instances that you do have to close, but you don't want to go with that feeling that if I would have just stayed a little bit longer. And I have so many acquaintances that were in the same boat that I was, and they got the same advice either from me or somebody else, and they stayed, and now they're very successful. You know, success is not defined if you lose your money or lose all your money or you can't pay your bill. Success to me is defined by, you know, how many people do you touch? You know, how many people do you impact? And based on that, you know, if you focus on how many people you can impact, and you shift your focus from the money wise, because money doesn't define you, then I think you can be very successful. I think many people can be very successful.
I agree. I think that's definitely the case. Now I want to talk some UTEP. This is the fun part right here. Here we go.
Go Miners!
Yeah. We had to get it. We'll get another one in later on before we end up. Oscar, this UTEP football team, let's just jump right into it. They have high expectations. Coming off a bowl game last year, not a bowl win. They won a bowl win. They won 7 games last year, a first winning season in 7 years. We're talking about a winner. Isn't that crazy? And expectations. It's kind of crazy to see that, right?
I'm super excited for this football season. Very excited. I think great things are to come, and I think the community is also now all in.
I think so too. This 915 initiative is real interesting that they have. You guys have been a part of it. We noticed the agency on the commercial and the promo video that they posted.
Yes, and actually it was in this agency that we recorded that, and we're super excited. I love the motto, Rise Up 915. So
yeah, it's a great motto. How'd you get first involved in UTEP sports, and how's that relationship developed with UTEP?
It's funny you're talking about Rise Up 915, so I'll take you to when UTEP hired Mike Price. You know, that was in 2004, and they invited a group of Allstate agents to be part of a big sponsorship. And, you know, that was actually my first time going out there to meeting, you know, John Teicher, the famous John Teicher. And they pitched this idea of being the sponsorship, and you know, it was with a group of agents, and we pretty much all pitched in. And Mike Price comes out of the room and he says, "Guys, we need you, and this is our motto." And our motto back then, and I never forget it, is, can you believe? Believe, you know? And it was almost like a question telling it to the community. You know, believe. Can you believe? And when I heard Mike Price come out with that, I'm like, wow, it's amazing. I want to believe now. Yeah. Well, guess what? 2004, they made the bowl.
Yep.
And
winning season.
They had a winning season. And now I'm always anxious, like, what's the next model for UTEP, you know? And I love that this year they came out with Rise Up 915, but that's 2004 is when I really started. And, you know, back then the sponsorship was really small for us because we're a group. But that's when we grew, and then later on we started to do more. And when I saw that, hey, this is something nice, and I could see, you know, the community responding, I said, I got to do this every year. And from here on, I'm hooked with UTEP. I'm a big UTEP supporter. I will always support my UTEP Miners, win or lose. I'm always there. Of course, we always want them to lose, but I mean to win. I'm sorry. We want them to win all the time, but even if they lose, you know, I'm always going to have their back.
Yeah, that's awesome, because this community really needs more supporters like that. Hey, you've heard our show. We get a lot of callers on all spectrums. So
Yeah.
people are frustrated at times, and people are excited, and I get it, right? Because especially coming off a bowl win, a bowl game. I keep saying a win. I'm manifesting it right here.
Yeah.
But they come off that game, and you kind of feel like there's still more left in the tank with this group. There's still a lot of excitement, and you guys bring a lot of excitement each game day. That's what I like about you, the Oscar Arrieta Agency. At the home games, you guys are out there tabling, doing different things, sometimes giving away different items. One of my favorite things that you gave away was the seat cushions.
Yes.
My whole family had the Oscar Arrieta Agency seat cushions. They were resting when they were getting a chance to go to the home games. What's it like doing those giveaways and just meeting UTEP fans on a game-to-game basis?
It's awesome. You get to meet, you know, going back to, you know, the call-ins, it's always good. You know, you want to have that criticism, but it's all about passion. You know, all these fans are very, very passionate, and expectations are high, and that's fair. But when we're giving out giveaways, it's the same thing. You know, people come up to us and say, "Hey, do you still have those cushions that you have, or do you have the fingers, the fingers with the number one sticking out with about UTEP, and you have this and that, or why don't you raffling this?" And we get all types of opinions, and we love it because I don't look at it as a criticism. I'm looking like, hey, they're all into it. Let's go for it. But I love giving away a lot of things. We've done T-shirts. I mean, you tell me, and we've pretty much done many things, and we'll continue to do this because I think that it's a great blessing that we have the means to be able to give back to the community.
I agree. That's an awesome thing right there. People love it. People love the giveaways and things like that when they go to the games. It makes them feel good for sure. Oscar, when it comes to sports, you're just a big sports fan in general. You're a big UTEP basketball fan, big UTEP football fan, huge Cowboy fan.
Yes.
For all our listeners out there who love the Cowboys and who despise them. But can I ask you this? Any particular sports moment in your life that stands out, that like just a memory that you cling on to in sports that really just kind of you always kind of go back to?
Yes, it was 1980. I don't want to get because my fans are getting, but I believe it was 1988, 89. We won the first round in basketball, UTEP basketball. Tim Hardaway was a senior. You had Greg Foster and Antonio Davis. I was a freshman in high school, and out there in Favens, and Favens shut down. I remember this. You know, you have no internet back then, so it's not like you're streaming on your iPhone. You know, we had nothing out there, so they shut down, and they put the big tube TVs in the classroom, and we're watching. You know, it was a day game, and we're watching the second round of the NCAA playoffs. You're watching UTEP, and I believe they were playing Indiana. I think it was Indiana, and we lost the second round. But that's when I said, wow, that's amazing. I fell in love with Tim Hardaway, Antonio Davis, Greg Foster. Says, that's a great team play. And from there on, the following year, they made the playoffs again, the NCAA tournament. And I fell in love with UTEP right there and then, freshman year of high school. And it's a certain emotion that you can't describe to anybody. You gotta feel it. And I'm just in love with the UTEP sports, with basketball. I went to every single basketball game last year. I think I only missed one, and that was because I was feeling down. I was feeling a little bit sick. So, but I love it.
Yeah, it's hard not to love UTEP basketball and football and stuff like that, and just get involved. So great story right there, Oscar. As we wind things down, as you kind of reflect back on the 25 years that you've spent here in El Paso and Fabens and all the surrounding areas serving the community with your insurance agency, what has the journey meant to you personally? This is one of those kind of milestones right there where you strike it off and hey, now it's on 30, now it's on 35 and 40. What's the journey meant to you this far?
Well, first of all, as we celebrate the 25 years, I give thanks to God. I think I give thanks to my family, to my past and present employees, to all my friends, to my business acquaintances. Every person that has been a part of this journey of mine, I give thanks. And I go back to what I was saying, that when you surround yourself with the right people, this is what's here for the future is endless. You can do amazing things. But what I reflect back is that this could not have been done with me, myself. I needed the people. I need the people. I thank my clients also because, I'm here today because of my clients. And when we started in July of 1997, we started with one customer. That one customer is the one that initiated what we are today. So yes, there's so many things that have happened, and I thank all my clients that we've been able to protect what they love the most, and they've put the trust in me and in my team, and we're going for more. Like I said earlier, it's not going to be, I don't know if it's going to be 7 locations. That's that's it, or we're going to go, next year or in a few years, when we hit 30 years, we're going to be doing another podcast, maybe with holograms or something, and saying, hey, how many agencies do you have? Now we have 15 agencies across New Mexico and Texas and Arizona. We don't know, but I thank God for what we've done, what He has given us.
Any kind of tips you can share, or any things that you can say on the horizon, new things that we can be aware of for the 25th year celebration that people can keep an eye out for?
Yeah, so this is a big thing. So we got 7 locations. We just finished in the last few weeks ago. We started to get all the dates. Every single location of my agency started in August 5th, which in this location at 1506 North Lee Trevino, we will start having customer appreciations. We're going to raffle TVs. We're going to raffle Circle du Soleil tickets, Disney on Ice tickets. We're going to do many things. We're going to do a lot of giveaways. Also, we're going to have UTEP players come out here, so meet and greet, sign, have them take, for you and your family, take pictures with them. So we're going to do a lot of things, and we're going to do August, September, and October, because we would love to do this in 1 week, but it's impossible. So we're going to spread it out, and I invite all my clients, any listeners, 600 AM listeners, people listen on YouTube. If you want to come and see what we're all about, just come in. You don't have to be a client of ours. Just come in and enjoy a free hot dog, a free hamburger, drink. Maybe you'll be the lucky winner of a prize.
As somebody who's been to many of these customer appreciation events, I think you should call them customer parties, because they're just a big party. You have open door policy. Everybody could come in, get treats, get fed, get giveaways, meet people.
Yeah.
It's a great time. So I appreciate the fact that you're having those. That's awesome. Oscar, you've been great. Thank you so much for all the time that you spent with us today. And then we need one more time. We need to go Miners for one more time.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go Miners!
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you.